So one of the most controversial ideas in singing is tongue position. And I made a post about this a couple days ago saying it's not that simple. It's not as simple as saying tongue up or tongue down. I myself have even said both of those cues several times to different people or to the same person in different contexts or to myself in the same session. So basically, tongue up, tongue down, it's not really about that. What it matters is if your tongue is playing into your phonation. So if your tongue muscle is assisting your laryngeal muscles to make sound, that happens a lot. In order to kind of undo that effect, you will have to train the tongue to stay out of the back of the pharynx, okay? And by doing that, you can access the laryngeal muscles. But the unfortunate part is that once you learn to do that, and you learn to keep the tongue up in a sense, you also then need to learn to relax it and free it. And that's after you've built this infrastructure of freedom from compensation. And so then, and only then, can you begin the process of learning to relax the tongue, which feels like the cue of tongue down. But keep in mind, tongue down does not mean pushing down. This is also very important. Tongue up does not mean pulling up. These are cues that help us contextualize what we need to do in that given moment. So when you're practicing, if you don't know where you need to be on that spectrum, if you need to think tongue up or you need to think tongue down, that's something that you work out in lessons with your teacher or on your own. But giving yourself each of those cues at various times can actually help your phonatory system. And it also helps you kind of learn how to play with the different muscular sensations. Essentially, we want the tongue to be relaxed, and that means passive, but it can't start being passive until it's out of the way. So that requires us putting it through a rigorous series of training so that it can eventually learn to stay out of the way. And that seems more complicated maybe than it is, but singing is complicated. I hate to say it, it really truly is. Singing is simple in the end, but oftentimes for most people, the path to that simple singing is complicated. So if it feels like you're trying to wrap your head around whether my tongue should go up or whether my tongue should go down, you ask yourself, what point of the journey am I on? Is my tongue right here underneath? Is it constantly getting hard when I phonate? If it is, you're going to need to work on tongue up cues, okay? So that you can really learn to train the larynx in the correct way. And after that, after the tongue is out of the way and not assisting the laryngeal muscles, then and only then can you learn to relax the tongue. Okay, so I hope this made some sense and clarified a little bit of this very, very obtuse subject about tongue up or tongue down in singing. But if you have any questions, pop them below and I will be sure to answer them.